into the fourth dimension.
Hello and welcome back to another week of Triumph over Lockdown, where we're going to work together, learn new skills, practice them, do some meditation and get through this difficult time that we're all going through for well-being. And we're trying to cultivate a better well-being for us and our loved ones around us. And basically, if we all do that, we'll have a much more nurturing society. So before we get started, tell me where you're coming from. How's this week starting out for you? Let me know in the comments. I invite you after we're finished to come on and talk to me if you wish. But let me know in the comments, first of all, who you are, where you're coming from, what's the week starting off like for you. I can see outside that the snow is beginning to fall, so it's a cold start to the week. But hopefully we can cultivate some warmth right now together. That's the idea. The idea is to create a peer-to-peer support while we do our meditations and cultivate an inner source of strength. And that's what we will be doing today. We have to understand, though, that our experiences as we go through life, and especially in the last year, cultivate sense of fear. When we cultivate a sense of fear, all sorts of different parts of our brain starts to get activated. And we have, first of all, that kind of sensory experience of fear. It doesn't matter if this is fear of corona or illness or death or maybe some abuse in the past or other horrific experiences. We feel them in our body. And when we start to feel them in our body, this is where it becomes extremely uncomfortable and we start to get maybe irritable. We also have our thoughts that come in and really kind of maybe be disturbing thoughts or frightening thoughts or memories or regurgitating it. And it becomes very, very uncomfortable and disturbing, maybe even keep us up at night. Then there's the emotions that get attached to all this experience. We get the emotions of shock, emotions of fear, sometimes the emotion of disappointment in ourselves, all sorts of emotional elements to that sense of fear, to that sense of shock that we might have gone through. And then, there's all this kind of physiological stuff that goes, we might start feeling our heart racing, we might start sweating, we might start feeling palpitations. So our breathing might even change. So all these things, when they come together, they create a very vivid experience, and that vivid experience might be implanted in that vivid memory. And it just keeps coming back and back and back and back. So we have to do something about that. We don't want to just let that fester and get worse and worse. And that is exactly what these Triumph over Trauma, Triumph over Lockdown is all about. So we've got Kenny coming in. So afternoon, Kevy from Elgin. Wonderful. Great that you're coming in from Bonnie, Scotland, my home country. So wonderful to have you. So basically we're talking today about doing something about these frightening experiences that we go through in life. And by understanding how they affect us, by understanding how they work from the point of view of the mechanisms in our mind, that can help us really combat this. It can help us really manage this. And sometimes it can become overwhelming. And what we really need to understand is that we have little control over our thoughts, little control over our emotions, little control over our body sensations and our physiology. But what we do have control over is how we respond to that, how we can respond to the context around us, how we can respond to the context within us. And we have a certain amount of control over that. And what I would like to do today is to cultivate that sense of control, cultivate that sense of inner power. Is this something that you would like? Come on, give me some feedback now. Is this something that you would like to be able to cultivate that sense of inner power to help us get through these difficult times? Cultivate that sense of inner power to be able to function and do things that are important to us and get out there and do it, even though we're having maybe some difficult thoughts and emotions and body sensations and pain even. But if we cultivate that inner power, right, that inner power can come from a sense of belief, right? If we can cultivate that sense of belief, belief in a higher power, belief in ourselves, belief in our communities, belief in whatever it is that we want to believe in, that sense of belief can really motivate us, can really fill us with a sense of power. To be able, maybe our resources are our emotions. Maybe we know how to cultivate our emotions. Maybe we can use those emotions as a point of intelligence, use these emotions and understand what they're trying to tell us and use it as a motivating source of power. Another source of power is our social. We've been getting told to social distance, social distance. By the way, social distance is an element of space. It's, I think, being very misunderstood, because what we're being told to do is social distance, thinking that it means being distanced socially from our fellow human beings. And that's a big mistake. There's something known as private space, and that's basically a human being's sense of privacy, of comfortable safety that nobody should invade unless they're given permission, that intimate space. But then you have what's called social space, which is a little bit further out, which somebody could stand there around about 2 meters from you, 1 to 2 meters, depending on which culture you come from. And that's called social space. So when we are asked to social distance, it means stay within that social space and not come into somebody's intimate space, because at the time of a virus that can be dangerous. But it's not about distancing in a social concept from our fellow human beings. So excellent, Kenny, that you're starting out in that road of recovery, and really means to kind of tap in to that inner power. And another part of our resources are our cognitions, is the way that we think. And it's really important to recruit our thinking into that inner power, because our thinking can really work against us a lot of the time, because of what I explained at the beginning, because of that really powerful past frightening experience in our life. It can really set off our thinking. And if we buy into that thinking, sometimes it can take us down a very slippery slope that we don't really want to be. But if we can recruit our thinking, if we can recruit our physiology, if we can do some exercise, if we can recruit our body in our favor as an advantageous, healthy exercise, then we can actually recruit a lot of inner resources. And so that's really what I would like us to do today in part 1. And in part 2, we can come back and discuss it, if that's what you would like to do. So we're going to go into part 1 here and get on with our breathing and our meditations. Okay, so we're going to start off with the breathing. As you know, we breathe through our nose, hold it for 2 seconds, and then breathe out through our mouth for 5 seconds, as if we're blowing out some candles. So using our tummy, really pushing it out as we breathe in, breathing in. Fill those lungs, hold it, and breathing out very slowly through your mouth. Excellent. Slowing down now and letting go. Breathing in. Holding it. Breathing out slowly. Excellent. Cultivating that inner smile as we do it. Breathing in. Holding it. And breathing out. Very good. Even sometimes we don't feel we want to smile. Even sometimes we feel we're a little bit down. That's our emotions. We can respond to them. We can cultivate an inner smile, an inner sense of joy, an inner sense of appreciation as we breathe in, holding it, and breathing out. Excellent. So I'm going to ask you in a few minutes if you wish to close your eyes or just gaze a spot on the floor. Just let that soft gaze come in your eyes. First of all, sit comfortably in your chair. Get a feeling of if everything was going the way that you wanted it in this world, if you had a sense of wholeness, just sit in your chair. Take your feet and press them into the ground. Firmly get that sense of grounding, that attachment to the ground. If you can do this in bare feet, even better. But if not, just with your shoes or whatever it is, just press into the ground. Sit back straight if you can, not rigid, relaxed. Feeling a good sense of feeling in the chair. I just want to do a disclaimer. If you're driving a car or working heavy machinery, that you should turn this off right now. Okay, so as we sit in our chair, put your arms on your lap, relax your shoulders, or put them at the side of the chair. This is a time for self-care. This is a time for you. And the more that we practice doing this, the more that you will be able to cultivate an inner power, cultivate that sense of strength that we all need as we go through life and tackle the different obstacles and pits and bumps as we go through this life. We have the ability to respond to these things in a very healthy way. And that's what we're going to try and cultivate right now. So just bring our attention now to our breathing. Just notice that breathing, how it works. Breathing through your nose. Just pay attention to the rise and fall of your body. Just natural breathing, no forcing. Just slowing things down and letting go. You might start to feel irritated or irritable in the legs or other parts of the body. Your mind might start churning out all sorts of different thoughts. Just let it all be. As you sit here and dedicate some minutes to your own self-care. This will help your production at work. This will help your attention to the other things that are important in your life. First of all, we have to have self-care. So I'm going to invite you now to either close your eyes or just gaze at a soft spot on the floor. And now reflect on a time in your life when you felt really good about having attained some sort of achievement. It doesn't have to be anything massive. It can be the time when you were 5 years old and you won the egg and spoon race, it makes no difference. Just something, an experience that you felt really proud of. What choices and actions did you make? Try and remember what were some of the little things that led up to it. Consider how you've added value in situations or to other people, how you contribute in your life and the life of others. And now reflect on some things that you get done over the course of a day. Recall ways you influence others or play a leadership role. A leadership role is a fancy word, but perhaps it's just in your family, how you act as a parent or a spouse. Maybe it's in friendships, taking initiative to help your friends in times of difficulty. Or maybe it's at work or in business, where some of your own personality allows you to take a leadership, helping others. Bring to mind some of the positive, useful and healthy choices you've made. We all go through life making all sorts of decisions and choices. But if you look carefully, you'll be able to identify some of the healthy, more useful choices in your life. If you're here now and still in this world, listening to my voice, it means you have made some healthy, useful choices in your life. Just be mindful of them at this moment. All empowering experiences that lead to a greater feeling of accomplishment or inner power. Breathe. Inhale and exhale. The rhythm of life. See if you can open to this feeling and let it fill you, this sense of inner power. Help it last within you and allow it to become more intense in your mind, as if you're turning up the volume of this sense of inner power within you. In your heart, in your body, in your mind, in your inner soul. You have made things happen. You are competent. Breathe as you sense this inner power within you. It takes work to cultivate. But right now you're taking the first steps. You are effective, and you will continue to be so. I invite you to bring to mind now to any other feelings that may arise, like dignity, self-respect, or a sense of possibility and opportunity. Yes, your mind will come in with all sorts of opposites. Just let that happen. As you cultivate a sense of possibility and opportunity. Of course, this takes practice. Don't let that get in the way. That's exactly what we're doing right now. Because if you happen to feel any resistance coming in, your mind manufacturing all sorts of resistant thoughts, or your body giving you urges of resistance, wanting to move from this position, that's okay. Just let that be. It's completely normal. Just see if you can bring your mind back to remembering some of these healthy, useful choices. After you did something that you're really proud of doing. Let this feeling and sense of accomplishment and inner power sink into you. Remember, you can tap into this at any time you wish. You're just using your inner resources of memory and thought to your benefit. We can also use our mind to cultivate a sense of what will happen and what it will be like to accomplish more. We don't have to be talking about big mammoth things. Even the little tasks of the day that are set out for you this very day. When you can feel satisfied with meeting your goals in accordance with what's important for you to accomplish. What's important for you in the way that you want to live, in the way that you want to be. And that will contribute to your well-being and the well-being of others around you. Allow yourself to be open to the reality that you can build on a foundation of what you've already done. Breathe in and let go. Breathe in and let go. And as you let go, let ease spread through your body and mind, and release any pressure, or high stress and distress. And if you feel a sense of fragility somewhere in your consciousness, just imagine a nurturing person who's holding you as a child, reassuring you that you will be able to live a life that's useful and nourishing and according to what's important to you. Remember that you are original, special, and powerful, and that you can get things done and you can make a difference. You are being courageous at this very moment to remember who you really are. To have a felt sense of your inner power that you have and that you've always had inside of you, ready to let it go at any time. You may have thoughts and feelings and sensations of resistance. Understand that this is natural. You can also cultivate this sense of inner power and be able to make things happen in your life that you wish. So every time you want to cultivate this sense of inner power, just remember a time when you felt accomplished or successful of having done something, no matter how small. And pay attention to the little things you do each day, even as you get dressed, get washed, get ready for the day. Each little thing is an accomplishment that make a difference to yourself and those around you. Bringing our attention back to our breathing. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. The rhythm of life. And in your own time, you can open your eyes, come back to the room. Wow. That was, for me, very powerful. What was it like for you? What was that experience? Did you manage to connect with that inner power of yours? It doesn't always happen like on an immediate basis. This is about cultivating. This is about practice. This is about doing the same again and again and again on a daily basis. It helps build neuronic pathways inside our brain, helping us cultivate this. You can listen to this again and again and again at different times of the day and different days of the week, helping you cultivate that inner power. So when we come back, we can have a discussion if you want. And look forward to seeing you in a minute.
Into the fourth dimension.
Christian Wakefoot.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. I join with members from across the House in sending my deepest of condolences to each and every one of the individuals who's tragically passed away as a result of COVID. However, during this extremely difficult time, I have nothing but admiration for the army of volunteers working tirelessly in my constituency and across the country. Will the Prime Minister join me in thanking organisations like the Fed, Jewish Volunteering Network, Heads Up and Porch Boxers, along with all those who've done so much to protect the vulnerable and the needy in Prestwich, Radcliffe and Whitefield?
Mr. Speaker, I will indeed join my honourable friend in paying tribute to those volunteers in his constituency. They join a huge constellation of shining points of light across our country. It's been one of the most extraordinary things, one of the consolations, one of the few consolations of this crisis has been the upsurge, Madam Deputy Speaker, there has been in volunteering.
My dear friend Dov, I was very honored to be invited after the event in the arena to provide some help in training professional teams. I was very happy and glad to work with you and your team and to feel that we've just contributed even a little bit to this huge disaster. I was amazed, actually, to see the resiliency of the people around. I was amazed to see how fast and how rapid the immediate recovery was. I'm sure that many scars have been left because of this event, but on the other hand, I'm so happy that as far as the population could, things went back to normal and people just carried on with their life. I wish everybody the very, very best and peace and safe and take care because of this COVID-19 event, which I really do hope will end soon and we should all go back to our regular life. Again, thank you so much and my best regards. Moshe.
Okay, so welcome back. And Gregory writes that he felt an inner calm and possibilities. So that's wonderful. What kind of possibilities, Kenny? What possibilities can you envision in your life now? You know, what can you do with this? You've got this sense of inner power. Now, what you're going to go out and use it for? That's the issue here, right? So it's not enough to cultivate that inner power, but let's use that inner power. Let's go out there and live that life according to what's important to you, not what's according people are telling you what to do. What is it in your life, Kenny, that you want to do and you want to use this inner power for? And anyone else that's watching, let me know, what is the inner power that you would like to use to do something? You know, what is it you want to do? What is it you feel that you want to do but you can't do? What is it you need to start doing in your life now that you've not been doing up until now? What is it that you need to stop doing now in your life that you've been doing up until now? These are the aspects of using that inner power to accomplish the kind of life that we would like to live. right? Now, we've all got bumps and we've all got quicksands and we've all got mountains to climb. And that's okay, because that's part of what life is. But we can cultivate the inner resources of our imagination, the inner resources of our thinking, the inner resources of our social structure that hopefully we can build, that support structure. We can use our inner resources of our physical well-being. Let's recruit all these inner resources and develop that inner power within us. So Kenny's saying that he's going to use it to find purpose in life and give him strength and recovery. Exactly. So let's cultivate that inner purpose. Let's first of all ask ourselves, Kenny, let me ask you, if you had the ability, which you have, to be the kind of human being you would like to be, right? I'm not talking about, being a fancy businessman with Ferraris parked outside. In what way do you want to live your life? Do you want to live your life as a curious human being, as a contributing human being, as an acceptance of yourself and others, adventurous Kenny? What kind of Kenny do you want to be? If you imagine yourself at another 50, 60 years from now, 100 years from now, people are talking about Kenny. They'll say, Kenny was what kind of person? What kind of person do you want, your life to be about? That's how we cultivate the purpose. First of all, let's ask ourselves, what do I want Kenny to stand for? What do I want Dov to stand for? What do I want anybody that's listening to this? What do I want to stand for in this world? One of the things for me that's really important is to be a contributing human being to others, to the well-being of others. And so I've gone through a lot of experiences. I've gone through a lot of learning. I've had a lot of mentorship from people. It's created a certain wisdom, and I don't want to hold that all to myself. I want, as a human being, to be able to share that, to be able to contribute that to other people. So I'm asking you, Kenny, what kind of human being do you want to be, Kenny, in this world? That will help you cultivate that sense of purpose. And then you just add the actions to that. Okay, I want to be a X kind of human being in this world. What actions would go with that in order to materialize that, right? So hopefully this has been a useful session for you people today. You can listen to this in the replay. Just hashtag replay in the comments if you're listening on replay. It will be available on podcast as well. I really appreciate the time that you give me, coming in with me, learning with me, practicing with me. It's really wonderful for me. It's fulfilling, and I want to meet you more. Please share this out, tag people that you know. We're here every day until Thursday at 1 p.m., the same time, 1 p.m. UK time. Tomorrow again, hopefully I'll see you. We'll do some more meditations, breathing exercises, and discussion on how to create a higher quality life in this world.
Into the fourth dimension.
Disclaimer, this show is not therapy, nor a replacement for therapy. Should you wish to inquire about therapy, counseling, life, or executive coaching, please contact Dov Benyaacov-Kurtzman at factcpfa@gmail.com, factcpfa@gmail.com. Dov Benyaacov-Kurtzman is a highly experienced psychotherapist, executive business coach, and author of the book, Mind Over Terror, 3 weeks, 2 cities, 1 mission. With over 10,000 hours of experience and academic degrees in government, law, clinical social work, and a postgraduate diploma in psychiatry with distinction, Dov has the background to help you. He's also available for public speaking and corporate training.